Hello everyone, welcome back to Bodyhood Brawl League Season 3. We're here for Qualifier League 3 game, going up with Slaviour against SneakyHighElf. We're gonna follow this game from Slaviour's perspective, and we have the Scavengers as the deployment right here. Gonna see how that turns out. Slaviour's being the big favorite, of course, but he doesn't get to deploy here. He do get to deploy, but lots of different strange places to deploy in. Could be a relatively quick game. Slaviour as the Sister of Sigmar, SneakyHighElf as the Skaven. This is actually the first game that SneakyHighElf plays in this league, since he is taking over after Crowley, who has left the Qualifier League 3 and left the tournament. So thank you SneakyHighElf for stepping up. Slaviour is of course going to be the big favorite here. Let's take a quick look at the table before these two players face. You see that Slaviour has one win and one really surprising loss against Bubs. So hoping to make up for that. SneakyHighElf is coming in with 2 losses. He has not played those himself, but he has a lot of ground to make up for if he wants to reach into the upper division. But that's going to be very unlikely for him. Is a massive underdog here in the fight against Slaviour. It's so nice that this is the first time we're gonna cast these two players in the Bodyhood Brawl League Season 3. Hoping to see more games of these two players and see what they're doing. See that Slaviour has gone with the Sister Superior as one of his first heroes. He had the option to bring 2 heroes, but SneakyHighElf has failed some of his objectives. Therefore, they're only gonna field 1 leader, 1 hero, and 4 henchmen in this fight. And everyone is expecting Slaviour to do really well here. He has not played in the Bodyhood League previously, but he is currently the world champion of Mordheim City of the Damned, the top ranked player in the world. And he is obviously pretty good at this game, and he is going to do a lot of harm here to his opponents. First game lost against Bubs. It's a little bit of a coin toss here with the various hit chances and such that could happen to anyone if you have really bad luck. And perhaps that is exactly what happened to Slaviour, but it's nice to have one of the games casted here. See what they can do. You can see Slaviour is already searching on the map, looking exactly where is that assassin leader. It's interesting to note that he is not going with just henchmen at the start to get 2 purifiers to begin with, as we have seen some other players do, most notably Rarator and King Jiggy, 2 other Sisters of Sigmar players here. All of them playing in the same Qualifier League. It's one of the most hilarious things that we have 4 players of each warband in the Bodyhood Brawl League Season 3, and all 4 Sisters of Sigmar players happen to be in the same Qualifier League of 8 players. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you, so that is besides King Jiggy and Rarator, as we mentioned, and Slaviour of course, it's also Bubs, the player who miraculously did the upset to defeat Slaviour early on in the first game. You can see that Slaviour has really gone through here with the leveling, already up 168. It might actually be Hardy coming in. Very good, good ambush position, I believe. Shouldn't have too many ways of sneaking up on him or her. I used the for Sigmar skill here to get a big boost in the movement department. Can be very surprising. You can surprise even Skaven with that. Going to skip ahead a little bit on the various movement here of SneakyHighElf until we actually see him on the map. Might have gone for harder here as well on the matriarch, looking really dangerous. Doing a lot of damage as well, probably already picked up a blue great hammer here. Fails the perception check, allows you to see certain characters. If they are nearby. Slaviour has the nearly impossible objective here of getting Crush the Will. I don't think he's going to manage to do that, nor might he be that interested. It's all about getting the kills here to secure the win and get a roll on the reward table. And we are going to expect Slaviour to get up to the upper division, where he could do a lot of damage with this Sisters of Sigmar's warband. It's going to be a joy to follow and see what kind of thing he is building. It seems to be differing a little bit from some of the other players here. At the very least, he seems to also have gone for the sisters rather than the novices, and there is a good reason for that. You do get a bonus to your movement, which is a bit more useful, especially early on whenever you pick up a Wordstone. And they have a bit of a higher weapon skill and some other stats that's also very useful to have when you cannot use any books whatsoever, as we can't do in this particular league format. Going to be important for SneakyHighElf here to get all of his units gathered up. We see one of the units briefly hiding behind that abandoned cart. And get in and swarm his opponent. He could probably leave the warp guards in front and then just retreat back with the heroes after a kill, and then come back in and do rinse and repeat. Might be some range coming up here from the Night Runner. He does see the Night Runner. Yeah, it is Warplock pistols on that guy. It didn't seem like there was an Overwatch, otherwise that would have probably triggered. Another heavy sister. It's the most efficient here to use a two-handed weapon when you only have 3 red pills. It's something that most people do pick up after a while. Since you only get 1 attack off, you might as well have it as a damaging attack. Trying to set up it along the door here. Well, it is a kind of ambush here where you're actually seeing the character, since that character aura is coming out from that particular angle. You can see it and you just walk into it and deny the ambush entirely, do some attacks without getting much in return. I'm blocking both entrances here. So what can Craigie Ninja do? He needs to go into an Overwatch, and you can see that SneakyHighElf is a little bit off target here with the particular levels, and probably a little bit on the loot as well already, as his wounds are 120-ish on both the leader and the hero. That's not going to be enough to battle, for example, characters like this with 160 all the way up to 180 on the matriarch wounds. Slaviour just waiting for SneakyHighElf to get down here. He is well, SneakyHighElf is probably waiting for the warp guards to catch up. There's a reason we have seen the assassin as well as the night runners, is they are the fastest units. Oh my good lord, did you see that? We already have a mastered comet on the matriarch here. Oh my god, that's going to be so hurtful. That's coming from Divine Study and already being level 4. Or to be fair, she could also just be simple level 3. It is possible to master Comet of Sigmar. You only need 9 intelligence, but if you are going to, yeah, you need to be level 4, I think, because even with Divine Study, you cannot master Divine Study without 15 intelligence. It's very unlikely that Slaviour has already reached up there. I think it's actually impossible, so he needs to be level 4 to get the master Divine Study in.
Started.
This is going to trigger SneakyHighElf into doing something that is going to be very rash and going to lose him the game, but he can't really do anything. He needs to move forward. He needs to attack, because otherwise he will just sit there eating comets. Suffering a lot of damage right here. Just forgot to turn on the 0 score here. I am a little bit tired as well. It's approaching midnight right now as this game is being played. It was really nice to catch SneakyHighElf and Slaviour though. Warplock pistols, remember he only gets 1 shot off on these. And manages to miss with aim. Alright. That's going to be very detrimental for his health. Probably going to be caught up right now by some characters. We see a few units here, but Slaviour might just want to trigger them and then surround them. Playing a bit cautiously here, Slaviour doesn't want to do too big of a commitment. He's probably happy with locking in the assassin leader and then killing him off You need to be careful when you do set ambushes against the Skaven, since they have much higher movement than you, so they can just charge in, and yeah, here we go. Manages to miss that one as well. As unlucky. That's very unlucky. But it is returned in kind. Yeah, it seems to be a very quick match here. No doubt Slavior's experience is quite a lot, but it's also, you know, the level difference here and the bad luck by SneakyHighElf. He is not really managing to land much here at all. He doesn't have too great of a chance at that point, but would be nice if he could get a little bit lucky, turn this thing around. Might see a unit here coming in and blocking off the Night Runner as well, cornering him. Yeah, here we go. Not quite a kill just yet, but it's coming in very shortly. Let's see what the warp cards can do. Remember that there are still 2 warp cards that we haven't really had revealed, and they're going to come in here and reinforce the fight. And since these are all duels, they could come in and put themselves into any kind of fight and then produce an all alone check. It's a nice little switcheroo here by SneakyHighElf. Going from a halberd to a spear that's from -5 to +10, so it's a +15 initiative boost. Might do the same here now, so he's gonna get another attack. It's +10 since that's a mace. If he goes above Slaviour here, he's gonna get another attack before Slaviour can even move. Could do a good amount of damage in that case. Can he charge in somewhere? And more importantly, can he land a charge? Nice hit here on the Sister Superior. Going to be an all alone check once the Night Runner switches his weaponry to something that's more melee focused. Waiting to use the Comet of Sigmar Matriarch here. And that's unfortunate. It could mean that Pauline Hillier here could actually die from this, since gonna see what kind of damage the Assassin Adept here can do. There's also gonna be a switcheroo here with the initiative ladder for Pauline Hillier. So she's gonna get another chance. Maybe it depends on what kind of initiative. 64. What did Pauline have? She was really low down there, right? It seems very unlikely. It's going to get plus 15 from, yeah, it's actually plus 25 initiative, so she's going to get a very big boost. So I had minus 10. If that was not a Great Flay, it might have been a Great Flay. That's plus 5. Switching to a mace, it's also plus 5. That plus 10 from the empty hand. Should be plus 10 initiative, then going up to 49. So it's not going to be just enough to bypass the assassin leader. He's still going to get his 2 attacks off. Could do fatal damage. Another halberd wearing warp top guard. Can he get into the fight as well? He's the only one that's really missing right now. And he could not. Yeah, makes sense to focus down on the assassin leader, since he is going to produce a kill otherwise, and he's not going to do anything while being dead. So that is that. The level 1 assassin adept is gone. Is he going to risk it with killing off the other leader here? He might. At least he's cancelling it all alone here. That's probably what mattered. Switching to a Sigmarite Warhammer from that Great Hammer. And it's going to be plus 10 initiative as well. You can see the effects right here. Looks very grim here. Can SneakyHighElf actually pull off a kill? If that's going to be the case, it should be on the Sister Superior, but after that it's going to be a big decisive victory for Slaviour coming up. It looks very much like that right now. Even though he had a nice trick here with the initiative ladder. Switching back and forth. Should probably have started doing that instead. Switch weapon and then done the halberd attack. Would have done more damage. See if he can land this. Yes, it does. Might still not be enough here to get Alexander Shevchenko. I don't think so. Wants to go in here and do the final blow when all of the red pills are already spent. Going to be a very rough starting game here for SneakyHighElf, but hopefully this doesn't discourage him. There are still plenty of games left to be played, and clearly he's facing one of the big tournament's favorites here, who has a decisive mechanical advantage as well, and that is never a good thing. So he had very low chances to begin here. Manages a few dodges here and there, so this could maybe he can. Yeah, we'll see. The two heroes of Slaviour here is going to do a lot of damage once it's their turn. Manages to fail the dodge roll there, was unlucky. Get a bit more damage in here. It's gonna be an all alone check. I'm gonna see here what the matriarch does first. She's probably going to kill a unit as well. And that's going to be GG for Slaviour, since both the Assassin and the Night Runner are already gone, meaning that there is absolutely no chance whatsoever for SneakyHighElf here to make the route test. And that's going to be a 4-0 victory. Congratulations to Slaviour, and I hope you enjoyed watching this game, and we'll see you in future games. Here we go. Thank you for watching.